Okay, everyone. So I'm here with my, for the first time, doing a dual review. Brandon, I spoke about him in the first video, and we just got back from seeing the new Skyfall movie, and it was brilliant. Any general thoughts?
Just that it was well done. The opening sequence was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it takes place in Turkey, and you see James Bond on a motorcycle, and he's like going over rooftops and stuff. Would you say it's better than the Chasing Casino Royale?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, because
It's
I mean,
longer too, I think.
yeah, I believe it's longer. Alright, so we're going to try to explain the plot here. This is maybe it's a bit spoiler, but I mean, we're just glazing over the plot, and we're not giving anything too big away, and basically is Raul Silva, played by Javier Bardem, is a former 00 agent and wants to take revenge on M by killing all of the MI6 agents, and James Bond's mission is to indeed stop him. I guess we can talk about Javier Bardem. What do you think of him?
I thought it was actually done really well. The character was written well, and it was acted well too. It was a better villain than Casino Royale, definitely, and Quantum.
There's definitely points up for Javier Bardem's character, which I felt was a bit underused a little bit, because I mean, every scene you see him in, like he just takes the show, like
Yeah,
I don't think there's enough of him in the movie, so
they could almost make a movie just on his character.
yeah, I'd say so. Unfortunately, he I don't know if it's a spoiler to say, but he's not going to be in the next one. But hey, it's pretty self-explanatory now for James Bond's movies. So Daniel Craig, this is Daniel Craig's third James Bond movie, and I personally thought he did a fantastic job as James Bond. Even though you see him aging a bit, and they kind of play on that subject of, you know, it's like Ralph Fiennes in the movie. It's in the trailer. He says, "Why not stay dead? There's no shame in saying that you've lost a step." Do you think Daniel Craig was good in this movie?
I think yes, he was. The older thing, I was kind of like, what are they doing with it? But it actually worked.
Like, he doesn't have that humorous side that, you know, like the other James Bond had. But I mean, this was more of a realistic.
Yeah, he's much more serious. Although that's not saying that the film doesn't have humor. There were a few funny parts, like when Javier Bardem meets up with Bond for like the first time. That's entertaining.
Yeah, I was just like nodding my head at that scene just because it was just so funny, and it was like a scene right out of a comedy movie, really. But
Yeah.
it just worked. It worked perfectly. It's hard to explain, but I mean.
You have to go see it.
Yeah, you have to go see it for sure. We also saw the return of Q, played by Ben Whishaw, even though he only makes one gadget, and believe it or not, that gadget actually was in License to Kill. What do you think of Q? Do you think he's going to be good in the next movies?
Yeah, I think I liked his character. Having a young guy in there, it certainly adds to it.
Yeah, he acted more of like a computer hacker almost.
Yeah, he's a computer expert.
Not just like some blumbling old English comedian guy in the old ones.
Yeah, making gadgets and stuff. This guy, he knows what he's doing with his technology.
Yeah. Then we have Eve, just another agent working with Bond, and even though she's not presented as like an actual like Bond girl, like they're not, she's really barely in the movie, but I think that she did her character really well.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more from her, and it should be interesting.
Yeah, I think she actually has signed on to do more movies, and if you watch the movie, you'll see why. I'm not going to spoil anything. So we also have a character named Gareth Malroy, played by Ralph Fiennes, as a bureaucrat who helps MI6 with their troubles, and I believe you mentioned this. He's just like, "Ooh, Voldemort with a gun," and because I mean, there was an action scene where he pulls a gun out, and I could see it too. I mean, this Lord Voldemort just, you know.
Yeah, there was a few times too where I like had looked down for a second from the screen, and he was talking to M, and I just pictured Voldemort. Like, the way his accent went, it sounded...
Yeah, I believe some people in their career, if they play one character that's so iconic, they can't escape it.
Yeah, you're just gonna think of it.
Like, name a new movie that Mark Hamill's been in? Other than Star Wars. You can't say Star Wars.
The other thing I remember Mark Hamill for is the Joker, his voice on the animated series.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you stick with one character, it's very hard to, you know, escape it. But I believe that Ralph Fiennes is going to do great as the Gareth Malroy in this. Judi Dench as M is still great. I mean, it seems that every argument that James Bond and M have, M always wins. You can't argue with Judi Dench. She's just going to tear you apart. And Javier Bardem, I thought was like a terrifying villain. There is a physical trait of his that I won't give away, but it was it was pretty creepy. Just it was disgusting, but it was really cool.
It added to the character. It was a bit of a... It was a nice touch, in a way.
Made him more of a psychopath.
Gruesome,
really.
but nice touch.
Yeah, and I think one of the best things about this movie is the action. I mean, I don't know if you remember in Quantum, the very first car chase, the editing was so fast cut. I mean, one shot of him going like this, and another shot of him going like hitting another guy from another angle, and it was just so fast, and you couldn't understand what everything was going on. But this movie, I thought everything was shot so well.
Yeah, I hate it when you watch a movie and you can't see. You just know there's a fight going on. I hate that. There's nothing worse than that in an action movie. This one, it's nice, it flows well, and you can see what's happening.
And I believe that this action was better than the action in Casino Royale. I mean, the Casino Royale action like blew the James Bond movies away, and I believe that Skyfall was like a step towards it.
Yeah, I think there was more action in this one too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And also, this movie had a bunch of references from old James Bond movies. Some examples include Goldfinger, For Your Eyes Only, License to Kill, which was the gun where his palm print activated gun is actually stolen right from that movie. And there's also a reference in GoldenEye. I won't say what it is. It's just very tiny, but
yeah,
of course. And another thing I heard was our friends at school. So I asked them how they thought the movie was, and they said that the movie was like 3 different movies. That there was action-packed awesomeness, then a boring part, and then action-filled awesomeness. And honestly, when I watched it, that boring part, I don't even know what they were talking about, because I found it entertaining the entire way through. So
personally, I have a feeling I know where it was, but because I've seen it twice. And the second time I was tired and I just kind of dozed off for about a minute or two. I think that's probably when he meets one of the Bond girls in the movie. Just after that, when they're talking.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the most dead parts of the movie. The rest of it's just flowing with action. And
even the slow part is pretty, I was invested in it because I guess I'm such a James Bond fan, but you want to see more, so I was always glued to the screen.
Yeah, same the first time I watched it.
One other thing that this movie does differently, I believe, is there isn't really a presented Bond girl. I mean, he does have sex with that girl in the shower, but the main Bond girl is basically M, because, I mean...
Yeah, the movie's generally, it's about M, in a way.
Yeah, because I think she has more screen time in this movie than all the M's have had in the last 20 movies. Like, all combined, because M is in this movie almost more than James Bond, in a way. They have the equal screen time, which is a bit different, but it works really well in this movie, I believe. So, out of 5, what would you give it?
A 6.
A 6?
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a 7. So, would you say it's the best 007 you've seen?
Out of what I've seen, yes.
Yes. Out of someone who's seen all the James Bond movies, I feel like a conformist saying that it's the best James Bond movie because it just came out, but it's almost better than Casino Royale. I need to see it again to really say that it's better than Casino Royale, and but other than that, it's probably the best James Bond ever.
It's easy to see where that opinion comes from though too, because it's newer, it's more up to date, and with today's technology, the action's better. They can do things better, and just the story even. It's more of a modern story than some of the older ones, and that could affect it as well.
All right, so. The official rating we're gonna give Skyfall is obviously a 5 out of 5. It's an excellent movie. Go see it. I'm willing to see it another 3 times in the theater.
I'll go see it again.
Yeah, let's go after this video. But I mean, Skyfall is just unbelievable. I don't know if it's too early to say, but I'd probably have to say it's in my top 10 movies ever. I mean, it's just that good, and be sure to click the subscribe button above to check out some more videos.
And the like button.
Yes. And thank you for watching.